You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 450, recorded March 2023, posted May 2024. Many pieces of furniture died here.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, your dungeon master. I use he, him pronouns. Thank you for listening. We are continuing our Curse of Strahd adventure with the Dog and Pony crew. Allow me to introduce them. They will introduce their lovely players. They will introduce their lovely characters, and we will jump into the action here as we are in Ravenloft. First up on this list here, it's Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Tony. I play Lena Dulina, the human rogue, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Next up, it's Dan Biscuits Morin.
Well, that is news to me.
That's been used before.
Yep.
Oh. Well, I love biscuits, so I'm okay with it.
That's why it's your nickname.
Is my brain really that fried that I don't remember this at all?
It's not one of those ones that needs like a lot of backstory. The year was 1994, and Dan Morin stole a truckload of biscuits. No, he just really likes biscuits, people. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my other nicknames are Dan Popovers Morin and Dan Petrucci's Rolls
Popovers. Oh my god.
Hi, Tony. What are we doing here again? Oh, yes, Dungeons and Dragons. I play Cassan Onatar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onatar, who uses they, them pronouns, while I use he, him pronouns.
Next up, it's Aline Sims.
Hello, I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger, her highly observant, perceptive dog, Androdite. Androdite's everybody's dog. And we all use she, her pronouns.
Also joining us, Erica Ensign.
Hello, I play Brildish the Dwarven Paladin. Her pronouns and mine are she, her. Brildish is Celestial Pony. Pony Sindelart uses he, him pronouns.
And last but not least, it's Micah Sargent.
Hi, I think I was last time, which is interesting.
Technically, we're in the same order.
I'm introducing you in the order that Dan puts you in the thing.
So it's Dan's fault. Got it.
You might be the last person to join the call. I don't think so. I think Jane came after you.
I've got a spreadsheet.
It's a static list on the stream, so I have to organize you in the same order
I'm
every
adding
time.
a tally to Dan's section of my spreadsheet for whose fault it is.
All right, grievances against Dan.
A lot of tick marks there.
You're last, Micah, but you're never least.
Oh, that's true.
One of the rest of us is least pretty much every time.
Me, isn't it?
Who could it be?
You know who you are.
I do.
All right. I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid, and he and I both use he, him pronouns. Elevor and I also, I guess, play Samus, the saber-toothed tiger who uses she, her pronouns, and Danu, the fey octopus who has no pronoun preferences.
Question, clarification. I don't think Elevor plays Samus unless...
No. You see, that's what you're misunderstanding, is that you don't realize that Elevor regularly has conversations with Samus in his head, but Samus is not actually communicating, so he's playing Samus in that way. So it's like, oh, Samus, you should go over there. And then Samus is like,
a puppet. Is
this a long con? Is this what this is?
I honestly don't know. Okay. I could ask, but it takes a while for Elevor to get back to me.
There's several layers of bureaucuricy that apparently you need to go through to get an answer to that question. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad we're exploring this here on this podcast. Erica Ensign has offered to do a recap of previous activities because Erica takes nerds because she's a giant nerd.
She takes nerds?
Takes notes.
Dan, your brain is decayed even more so.
No, I heard that.
For the record, you did say nerds.
I heard it too.
I was going to let it slide.
I'm willing to consider the idea.
Slide.
Yeah, the idea that I was wrong and Dan is not wrong, unacceptable. Let's get that out of the way. Erica, when you edit this, make sure it makes me sound right.
I will if you start over and just say Erica takes notes because she's a huge nerd. Go.
Erica takes notes because she's a huge nerd. Now I think you shouldn't edit it.
I'm still gonna
do whatever you want. I can't. I mean, obviously, no one can stop you either way. But it's true. Yep. Erica, take it away.
I am a huge nerd, and I did take notes. This is specifically for our last episode. This is what happened.
Previously on Dungeons and Dragons, Total Party Kill, Dog and Pony Show, Curse of Strahd, There's just a colon at the end.
A leading colon at the end. Yeah.
As an editor, I have a real problem with that extra.
It just
colon,
leads
but
into
okay.
what you're going to say. That's the thing.
Okay.
Colon and then Erica's.
Oh.
I prefer an M dash for that.
I was going to say M dash.
I've got
All
beef
right.
with copy editors this week. It's fine.
Uh-huh. Elevor engaged our new duck-footed friend in conversation. He likes puns and keeping the castle tidy. He claimed to know his way around quite well. Elevor convinced him to lead us to the wine cellar, which was behind a portcullis. Crucible saw something move in one of the rotting barrels. Lena determined that the old rusted lock mechanism was no longer fit for use, so Crucible and Brildish lifted the gate manually, while Lena propped it open with the +2 great axe that Brildish carries around and never uses. Crucible and Brildish made a beeline for the suspicious barrel, and sure enough, it was home to a black pudding that sprang out and attacked. The party managed to defeat it, but in the process, Brildish's sacred battle axe took a permanent -2 penalty due to acid damage. She has not noticed this yet. Under the black pudding was the holy symbol of Ravenkind, as identified by Crucible, while Elevor kept the mist-sweeping fellow busy with 10 minutes of questions and conversation. The symbol is a wondrous item with great powers that could help defeat Strahd.
And so we pick up there. This is one of those exciting Tuesday night sessions where I don't have any idea what you're going to do. And I read a lot of stuff about what could happen in Castle Ravenloft, but you could go literally anywhere or nowhere. That is a thing that you have sometimes done. But you are, I'll remind you, you are in the Larders of Ill Omen, one of the lower levels of Ravenloft. You know that the catacombs and dungeons and crypts are below you. You actually kind of started your exploration of Ravenloft in there before teleporting to one of the upper chambers. I think at this point you have kind of completed, believe it or not, your main quests in terms of gathering the information and artifacts that will prepare you to confront Strahd himself. You have a magic lightsaber glowing sword. You have an icon of Ravenloft. You have recruited Vasilica, is intended to be undead corpse bride, who is what would much rather pummel Strahd to death with her giant fists and be your friend. And you've picked up a few other things here and there, and you also gained some information about the nature of vampires, which is consistent with how vampires work in other media.
Except for the garlic.
Yeah.
So, question.
Mm.
Do we determine the disposition of the holy symbol?
Like, is it angry?
Yes.
Is it sad?
The other kind of disposition.
Well, I mean, you picked it up, so you're holding it at this point.
I am,
Crucible
yeah.
is.
So Crucible's holding it at the moment, and he's sort of turning it around in the light, and he seems very thoughtful, and says that my work as a cleric of Onatar has always encouraged me to see all sides, to remain steadfastly in the middle of the path and observe without intervening. But the longer I spend in this cursed land, the more I believe that path to be fundamentally flawed in the way that it treats the situations in which people find themselves.
Brildish is nodding vigorously.
Can no longer stand by idly and let evil triumph and puts this entire realm in danger. And if this
Brildish
artifact
just gives Crucible a great big hug, like a bear hug, like, my friend.
Oh,
this is not unpleasant. Therefore, if you, my comrades, have no objections, I will put this holy symbol to use in defeating Strahd once and for all.
You were the one that saw the creature move in the barrel. You were the one that unearthed it and found it. I believe Hala put this in front of you. Or perhaps Onatar, or maybe they got together on it.
Or perhaps even Onatar fears to tread in some places, and that is something that we must take upon ourselves. Therefore, it's possible, Tony, two things. One, alignment shift.
Sure.
I mean,
think
it does make sense. Like, that follows.
Yeah.
That's a really good
I
move
know,
for Pete, I
from-
think.
I was lawful neutral before, so I think I'm just moving towards lawful
You're just
good.
one good. I mean, what is Barovia if not a crucible unto itself? Crucible.
I've come forth stronger.
And
More sure of
Crucible,
myself.
Crucible.
yeah, Barovia is a land of contrasts. And I think Barovia shows you that, there is no neutrality in Barovia. You are either good or evil. It is a land of extremes. And in order
You're
to
with
confront
Strahd or against him.
Yeah, in order to confront Strahd,
You must pick up arms.
Yeah, and
You must resist.
Yeah, balance is all well and good in other lands, but here in Barovia, what is balance?
I worry the gods cannot even see here, and therefore
very-
we must
it's very
take it
misty.
upon ourselves as their avatars and champions to do their work for them.
Like the
I
bard
would-
once said, we must take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
Mm-hmm.
Was that
Wow. Your
forgot
land
his-
sounds like it has a great
Oh
bard.
man,
Was that Spurious Whisperface?
It was indeed
I was
Spurious
I was
Whisperface.
going to say
Yeah.
scruples, and I'm like, that's
Well,
not his name.
no.
a lot.
The bard of which you have talked so much
Yeah.
since arriving
in
here.
a publication called Pork Chop.
They're
They're not all going to be winners.
Modern day scholars debate how much of Spurious Whisperface's works were original versus crib from some Pony Sindalar.
Some faraway land.
From a pony.
So
As the
Lena
pony once
nods
said.
and Lena nods and says, "The children of Barovia have forgotten how to wield such a symbol with hope that things can get better. So it makes sense that an outsider should be the one to take it up."
All right, Dan,
I'm
change
gonna
your character sheet accordingly.
I'm also going to spend a little bit of time here using my forging skills to attach that to my shield.
Nice.
Cool.
I will investigate the rest of this room then while that's happening.
All right. The rest of the room, some of you are in the cellar, some of you are in the hallway, the big wide hallway that leads into the cellar just outside. As previously discussed, lots of rotting barrels that probably held wine decades, if not longer ago. Some of them are not in good shape. Some of them look like they might have mold and possibly even dangerous mold in them. But they are otherwise uninteresting in terms of none of them contain powerful magical items or black puddings beyond the ones you've dealt with. So
I'm gonna
ahead.
say that after just a couple of them, Brildish is going to then she's still holding her axe in her hand. At some point is going to turn and realize that the sacred axe of Hela has
it's
become
wedging open a portcullis.
no. The sacred
the
axe
one
would never
that's-
do that. That was
Oh,
the magic axe.
She's got in her hand.
No, the sacred axe has now become pitted and burned away with acid. So at some point, Brildish is just going to sort of slump to the floor and start just trying to sharpen her axe very slowly. And she's just going to sit there doing that until somebody makes her move.
I feel like Androdite's probably going to go over to her and nudge her or something.
I will. She'll pet Androdite a little bit, get a little nuzzle, and then just back to sharpening.
While that's going on, Elevor walks over to Lena, and he says, earlier I noticed something.
Mhm.
Your eyes, they stayed fastened on this item. And he pulls out the chattering wooden teeth, and he says, usually your eyes dart about looking at many different things in the room as you maintain an awareness, but something really, really drew you to these, it seems. And I was curious what that was all about.
Lena kind of gets a strange look about her and says, "Well, I recognized the toy. Not that specific toy, I don't believe, but that type of toy. I grew up in Vallaki, and these toys were known to me in my childhood. It just reminded me of a time when things were different. With me personally, not with Barovia, which has always been more or less the way that you see it now. But I used to have a family. I had sisters. I had a brother.
Oh my. So it's a positive memory for you.
Well, a painful one, certainly. But I'm starting to realize that perhaps where all of you come from, not all memories are painful. There are some pleasant happenings, some festivals that don't end in fleeing from a city under threat of arrest, or if they do, it is for much more fun reasons.
I have to ask, is from your childhood and spending time with your siblings, I've learned that one of the most important senses that we have is our sense of smell. It is a way for us to reconnect with the past. And looking back on that time, if there was ever a time that you did feel a sense of fondness or a sense of happiness or something that is positive for you, do you remember any sense from that time?
I remember a warm hearth nourished with wood that wasn't rotten. We had a small grove behind our manor house. And there were just a small number of trees with leaves that were brighter green than the rest, and they seemed to catch the sun. And yes, I do remember that.
That sounds incredibly lovely. I'd like to give you this, and I would like for it to be a poignant memory, certainly, but one that may have a positive reminder for you. And as he holds it out in his hand, you see him kind of mumble with his mouth a few words, and he uses druidcraft, which allows him to create a small sensory effect like smell, and he makes the smell of wood burning in that way where it's a bit green, so there's like that freshness over the top of it, and that smokiness as he hands it to you, which in theory will trigger that positive memory at the same time that you're receiving this toy. And he holds it out for you.
Lena takes the toy, and like her eyes are like full of tears. She looks not even like she's trying to fight it. Like she's just like, if you had cast hold person on her, it would look probably about the same way. And she just kind of accepts it, and she, a tear rolls down her cheek, and she's like, wow, this room definitely is very foggy.
There is much mist in here.
Cyrus takes this moment to remind you, yes, it is the mist.
It is the mist. Can I say that Lena's alignment also changes?
Sure. Everyone's alignment changes.
Yeah.
You must
on that
either
day-
become good or more evil.
Wait, am I evil now?
Yeah.
then she-
feel the power course through you, Broldish.
She's like just like tear rolling down her cheek, and then I think she sees Broldish
Yeah.
like sitting and doing it, and is like, oh my, what's up with Broldish?
Yeah.
Crucible's going to go over to Broldish and say, it seems as though perhaps your axe did not enjoy its encounter with the black pudding. May I take a look?
She'll just very slowly just sort of be like, didn't hear it at first, and then just sort of look up and just lift it up. Like, here you go. Without saying anything.
So I have a question, Tony. I have a channel divinity power, which lets me generally create an item, basically out of anything that's part metal. Is that possible? Could I use that to in some way reforge this? Or
do you think you have the kind of how is this? It seems like that is within the realm of Onatar's.
I am
I'm sorry,
proficient with Smith's tools. I have Smith's tools. Basically, it says,
certainly seems compatible with Onatar's teachings. Seems feasible with Crucible's equipment and knowledge. I guess my question is simply, how long do you think this is going to take? Is this
this ritual
5 minutes,
is
1
it's
hour,
an hour?
8
It's an
hours?
hour-long ritual.
Okay. Also, I'll note, I think you need to attune to that Holy Symbol at some point too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
so, I'll let you take a quick short rest. A 1 hour short rest in which people spend hit die as needed, and you probably not that many people need it. I don't know if the black pudding did much damage, and you try and mend some of the damage done to that axe.
I can't remember the last time I used a hit die, and I actually do need to. So
I think you. Yeah. So
short rest.
Remind me, how damaged was the axe?
it was -2.
I think maybe
I
for an hour you can mend it halfway.
-1, sure.
Yeah.
And so during, I'll work on it during that hour, and when I
Yes.
do eventually return it, I'll say, and when the dawn comes, I will bestow Onatar's blessing upon this axe, and if it may not enhance its abilities, but I think you'll find it the same trusty companion it has always been.
Brolish, more tears. There are tears running down the scars in her face. Like she's not like saying anything or like actually cry. Like there's just tears running down her face, and she says what she says. She takes it and she says, "Onatar be praised."
Oh.
Whoa.
And Crucible looks back at her and says, "Hela be praised."
More tears.
And then we
I'll
have
mention-
everybody group hugs, right? At this point,
Yeah.
the entire party is
Goosebumps.
Yeah, Lena's just standing at the corner, crying as she watches her friends.
Come here. Bring it in. Everybody.
Cyrus Bellevue is kind of off to the side, and
No,
he's
he
like,
doesn't
Oh
get to come
no!
to group hugs.
Elevor puts him in the center. There's no way he's not part of this.
Cyrus is like, there is so much to do today. I have many things to do to serve the master. He seems anxious about how long you all have spent.
We actually do need to, Cyrus. We need to take a look at something we've seen before, if you have the time.
Yeah, Elivor has an entire hour to have conversations with this.
You need to relook at something that you have looked.
Yeah, we want to see. I mean, perhaps between the last time we saw it and the last time we saw you've polished it, made it gleam. Perhaps.
I know not of what you speak.
Well, basically, there's a big old heart in the middle of the tower, and I think we are wanting to just sort of take another look at that thing, because my goodness, is it magnificent.
Yes. The master's crystal heart, so magnificent, up in the spires. Yes, the northern tower.
What's the deal with that thing? Is it just like a pretty globe in the sky? Like, does it do something?
No. It is a powerful symbol of the master's power over not just Barovia, but Ravenloft itself. His heart is the heart of the land. As long as that crystal heart is there, you can never die.
I had a feeling. I gotta tell you, I had a feeling. Has anyone ever tried to, like, I don't know, sort of put a little chisel up to it, a little hammer or anything like that?
It is well protected.
Well protected by you?
No. Cyrus sweeps, he cooks. He tends to the larders, but other servants of the masters.
Oh, like those. Remind me, who's protecting it?
Many sharp minds.
Sharp minds with sharp teeth.
Keen blades, you could say.
Keen. Oh, like suits of armor.
Well, flying swords.
Oh, flying. See, you're clever. I was having trouble with that one. That was a good one. So do you keep those flying swords clean?
Self-polishing.
Oh, that's a good enchantment. I wonder if my friend Onatar knows it. Oh, my friend Onatar. If my friend Crucible
you
knows
know
anything
my
about
god?
that.
My pal.
Boy,
Backstory.
how many months have we been here? And I'm only just now learning that you're in tight with.
By the way, my best friend Onatar. No.
Elivor's not a name dropper. I mean,
Yeah,
He would not.
exactly. No humble brags here.
You'd have to remember some names in order to do that. Well,
it's true.
Crucible.
Yes.
Have you ever made a sword fly?
that sounds like a setup for a horrible
It does.
prank.
It does.
Crucible takes it very seriously. Well, the aerodynamics would be such that it would be challenging, but I believe with the right enchantments, one could make a sword airborne in some fashion, longer than, of course, it would just take to throw the object and propel it, but rather self-persevering.
Have you ever made a sword stop flying?
You present an interesting challenge. Not without destroying it. But it occurs to me that if the sword in question is enchanted, perhaps a dispel magic spell might have a worthwhile effect on it.
Or anti-magic. Yeah.
Anti-magic
I'm very
field?
pro-magic, just to be clear.
Okay. Yeah. So, anybody else interested in going and taking care of that heart?
You mean going to admire it?
Going to admire that heart?
Yeah. Yeah.
Admire it in...
It was so pretty.
because apparently, as long as it stands, so does Strahd. And frankly, I think he needs to take a seat.
You're not saying that anywhere near Cyrus Bellevue, are you?
No.
Okay. just checking.
I think
Well,
perhaps
yeah,
it is
I think-
indeed time we get to the
It
heart
was a
of
little
this
huddle
matter.
we were having.
Oh, a private huddle. This
Pony
one's a
huddle.
private
Yeah, I
huddle.
mean,
We
Pony
kicked
huddle did not-
Cyrus out. We just pushed him out of
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah, well, he didn't seem very interested in being in on
Yeah,
a group
he's
hug,
got
so we
cleaning
just
to
do
do.
another
He-
group hug.
Yeah, he kind of wanted to go do his thing.
Yeah.
What did Lena do?
I think Lena is like sizing Cyrus up,
Okay.
and she just looks at him, and she asks a question that he may not have ever have been asked, which is, "Do you like Strahd?"
That's a good direct question.
I like to serve the master. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll insight. It's a 17.
He seems confused.
I mean, maybe he'd be happy serving anybody.
Mm.
Just some people just prefer to help out.
And don't want to die.
I think
Some people
you
also
all
don't want to
know-
die.
Some people...
You all know Lena well enough to this point that you know that she is about to push him into the caged area.
Right.
Brildis
I-
is ready to just sidle out.
Yeah.
Let that happen.
Because I mean, maybe after Strahd is done, we can free him, but like, he could just tell.
He is a liability with a capital L.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think like having him imprisoned is probably better than having him running around.
Yep.
Okay. Elevor would be fine with that as long as he gets a moment to explain it to after he goes in.
I
He
mean, it's a
would talk
portcullis.
to
You can talk
Cyrus.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
And
you can explain before, but
or while it's happening.
yeah.
I don't know that Imra has an opinion one way or another about it, but Aline would like to leave him like some food and water too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the larders. There's all kinds of
We can leave him some ill omen.
Yeah.
It's free.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Free
like
whenever he
It's
purchased.
like a
That's lying
meatloaf
around.
style thing.
We'll just give him some good berry.
Cyrus likes these good berries. They're very tasty.
Do we need to roll anything to shove him into the portcullis area?
It sounds like a contested strength check.
Okay, who's strong?
What if I kind
Or,
of use
I
my
mean, with
dex
help.
to
For sure.
Maybe
You
Elevor
trip
could
him in such a way
sidle
that
him in. No, not trip him. but, like,
unless one of the one of the stronger members wants to do
But
that.
what if Elevor was like, "Hey Cyrus, what's that thing over there?"
Elevor wouldn't want to do that.
Wouldn't do that. Mhm.
That's too far for him.
Crucible looks at him and is like,
It's a good idea, but
would you
yeah.
please step into this
Yeah,
wine cellar?"
like I don't know, pushing him versus tricking him is like
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, Crucible would not push him in, but he would try to, if that was the will, he would bodily just pick him up and move him into the
I like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
idea.
Yep.
I feel like that's direct
Hug.
and
It
honest.
starts with a hug, and then you're
See-
dropped
see-
off.
See my aforementioned of a contested strength check.
Turns out this guy's like ripped.
I rolled a 14. Not my best
And
roll,
if Brildish would help if it looked like help might be needed. So
Cyrus has rolled a 9. So Crucible, tell me what this looks like.
Crucible walks over and, having sort of come to this conclusion with the rest of the party, says, "This is not a personal judgment. We simply need you to not be out free at the moment." And then he just lifts him up.
Excuse
Puts him
me?
inside it.
Cyrus does not like this. Cyrus not like. Put Cyrus
And
down.
Cyrus.
Removes the axe that was propping
On
up
the
the
way up.
portcullis and lowers it to the ground.
Brildish will try to catch it so it doesn't land quite so loudly. So that, not
Okay.
stopping it, but just softening it so it doesn't rattle
Yeah.
everything.
And then Crucible goes and oils it so it'll be real
Super
smooth next time.
shape for next time.
Elevor puts in some ball bearings. Yeah, it's a whole total dungeon makeover. Yeah, got it.
No, they
Total
need that for
dungeon
the next
makeover.
snack.
We
Cyrus
leave him
is-
some food for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
The master will not like this. You will be punished. This is not okay.
Honestly, Cyrus, the reason we're doing this is because we don't want you to be punished for what we have to do. I have
We'll be
nothing.
back. Don't worry.
We don't have anything against you. We think you're great. I think you're great, at least. It's just that I understand that it's your role and your job to do everything that the master bids you do. And honestly, there may be some people amongst us who would think that ending your life is the best way to achieve our goals. I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to keep you in here. You'll have some food. We'll come back as soon as we take care of the things we need to take care of. Sorry, bud, but it has been great talking to you. And
Brill-
honestly, you keep a great castle.
Cyrus
Brildish is
was your
gonna
friend. I was going to make
Brildish-
your deaths quick and painless. The others will not show you this kindness. You will suffer
Brildish
at their hands.
picks up the broom that has it's on the floor out in the mist. Picks it up
Mm-hmm.
and feeds it through the glass and says, "It's pretty dirty in there. So I mean, if you want something to do."
You might have some cleaning you need to do.
Cyrus kind of stomps his feet and takes a couple steps back from the bars and starts sweeping the inside of the wine cellar that is filthy. There is
Yeah.
bits of black pudding everywhere. If only he had a dustpan.
So
Cyrus
he's not going to be bored.
Cyrus kind of turns his back to all of you as you're sweeping and then kind of yells over your shoulder, "Stay out of my room!"
Okay, bye.
Okay.
He turned into a petulant teenager. So that was
Yeah.
You locked him in a cage.
Yeah.
With
Yep.
wine.
No, there's
Well,
no wine
empty
here.
barrels.
All right.
Not
well,
a drop
We,
remains.
we were
With-
misled.
With a broom. You locked him in
And
a
food.
cage.
And
And food and water.
And
Food
we
and water.
killed the black pudding first, so we're not totally
Okay.
heartless.
Mhm.
All right. Where would you like to do next now that Cyrus Bellevue has been dispatched?
Spires.
Yeah, so we're standing near some stairs that are going. So there's
Yeah.
two areas there's a bunch of areas we haven't
Yes.
investigated
There's
yet.
5
but
doors on this floor that we've seen.
But there's
Those are
So
doors?
stairs going up, and then there was also a room to the north of us.
There is
by the
from
Hall of Bones.
There.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to split up and scout around?
Should we check
Tony.
Do you want
Should
to
we check these
stay
doors, or
together
do you
and
wanna make
scout
a-
around?
Do you want to make a beeline for the spires, or should we check these doors?
I don't like the idea of leaving these rooms near a guy who can yell.
yeah, that's a good point.
Like, what if there's somebody in them?
Okay.
Maybe we need to put
Let's,
somebody else under the portcullis.
Let's quickly check these rooms then, shall we?
All right. Put yourselves near doors, and I guess I'll move Cyrus into the jail now.
Oh yeah, I'll come out.
Yeah.
Perception to listen
Oops.
to that door.
Brildish is
Uh,
inside.
14.
All right, Lena, you pick a door and listen at it. You hear, sounds like a bubbling liquid inside.
Wow.
I mean, he did mention that these were the kitchen, so
Yep.
I rolled a 20, which is a 21 on my perception check for this
you
door.
listen at a door on the south side of the corridor. It is quiet. No, quiet
Shrug.
as a grave. An appropriate amount of quiet.
Because there is one other item that we were going to look for, and that was whatever Piddlewick won, the original Piddlewick left for Elevor.
And I believe he promised that it was
crypts.
in the crypts. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So we may be in that neighborhood.
Androdite and Imra head down the hall, pick a door on the north side there. You listen. It is quiet. Androdite smells. It smells like Cyrus, the other side of this door.
Okay.
I'm gonna, Lena, unless you have an objection, I'm gonna open this door.
Do we want to open it stealthily?
I don't really know how to do that, so sure.
Okay.
Lena just puts out a hand and
Lena
asks.
opens it stealthily.
All right.
Watch this. Oh, I was
Watch this.
I was pretty sure if I did that, I was going to get a crit fail, but no,
Yeah.
it's a 27. So,
You kick
so
the
it's
door
just
off
like,
the hinges
watch
stealthily.
this.
Yeah. You open the door. There is a large room beyond. As the door opens, a horrible odor of decay wafts out. This room is hot and kind of humid and smells horrible. There's a giant cauldron in the center of the room that has a blazing fire pit under it, and the contents of the cauldron are boiling. The far wall is lined with pegs, hanging for which are numerous large cooking implements, kind of oversized. Some of them could probably work as weapons or implements of torture in a fix. It's kind of a kitchen, but it's a horrible nightmare kitchen. Everything looks like there's lots of blood and gore and viscera around. There's nothing. This kitchen has not even heard the word hygienic before. And yeah, it does. Nothing about this makes one feel think of the hearth or of nourishment or nutrition or anything.
Crucible rolled a 24 on perception, but is not really gonna go inside given the appearance of it, so he'll just cast a glance around from the doorway and see if there's anything else that jumps out at him.
You think you might have seen movement inside the cauldron?
Yeah, you also saw movement in a barrel. Close that door. That's me, not Brildish.
There may be some foul creature residing in that cauldron. I'm not sure whether or not we want to engage it or leave it be.
I mean, it is possible that it could come out and let what's his face free.
Yeah.
Does this door have a lock?
Yeah, sure.
I kind of want to just jam the lock.
I'll
Just,
mention. I'll mention
close
that
it.
you notice that there do happen to be two doors into the kitchen. Let's say they're both jammable and lockable.
That sounds good. Let's do that.
Lena uses.
I'll point out
her-
that whatever it is inside a giant cauldron that has a fire roaring under it that is clearly boiling the liquid.
I don't think it's a person. I think it is probably some sort of creature that is not just as likely to eat him as it is to let him out, frankly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think we're best off not engaging.
Lena does the hand signals for fight monster or
leave forever.
leave forever. Yes.
Crucible,
And jam lock,
Yeah,
which is the opposite of unlock, the symbol that she makes probably more than anything else.
Crucible just
And I'm
gives.
going to make a performance check just to
Okay,
see how
yep.
well
I love this.
I'll make an
convey
insight check
this.
to understand it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 5.
I did
Dan,
roll an 18 on the inside.
Okay.
You get the gist of it, Dan, but it's not. It's
Crucible just reaches over and just slowly closes the door.
Okay. Imra, Androdite, did you wish to do something?
Yeah, I will try to quietly open this door.
All right, you open another door on the north wall of this corridor. There's a small little 20-foot by 20-foot square room beyond, and it is filled wall to wall with clutter. There's a long sagging bed in one corner. There's a huge faded tapestry that depicts Castle Ravenloft. But there's just all kinds of junk in here. There's dusty lanterns. There's some curtains that are kind of just draped haphazardly around the room. Thousands of pieces of junk cover the floor. Broken swords, crumpled shields, helmets that are dented, all manner of things. Honestly, looking around, it looks like hundreds of adventures kits were kind of like upended here, but in kind of broken disarray.
Is there anything that indicates to me that it's Cyrus's room? I know it smells, Androdite knows that it smells like Cyrus, but for Imra, is there anything that, like, is there a stack of brooms or something in a corner?
There are several lanterns, he is a known lantern advocate. It seems like this might be, I mean, this is somebody's, like, weird collection of junk.
Does Cyrus see me over here by any chance?
I don't think Cyrus sees you at that far end of the hallway, given the fog in the hallway.
Part of me wants to just like go in and look around, but I think that's Aline and not Imra, so I'm just gonna close the door.
Yep. Brildish.
Brildish doesn't open doors generally, unless told.
Good practice.
If we're busting in, like, then yes, but all the door opening so far in this hallway has been quiet. So Brildish will look around toward Imra and Lena, and whoever makes eye contact, Brildish will just like point and then like make the quiet symbol, which that one's easy, and then point at the door and shrug.
Yeah. Lena seems very excited that people are using her symbols back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So she's going to come over.
She scampers right over.
That's a 22 to silently open the door.
All right, there is a kind of short hallway beyond, and then you can see a spiral staircase going both up and down.
Ooh, we might want to go down.
And actually, this staircase looks familiar to you.
Ooh,
is this the one that's right across the hallway from where we were first brought in the castle, and then also is by the gargoyle room?
Indeed it is.
Aha.
Good memory, Jane.
We still have one more doorway in this on this level, north of the bone room.
Want to check out after up the Hall of Bones.
Yeah, north of the Hall of Bones, you know there's something up there. Rahadin came through there.
Are we trekking over there before we go?
Yeah, I think we should at least like jam that door.
All right.
But perhaps
Crucible will wander over.
Yeah.
And
I'll follow.
All right, north of the Hall of Bones, where you fought Rahadin and those giant skeletal constructs that I built, there is another hall. This is the adventure calls it the Kingsman Hall. 30-foot square room is in shambles. Scattered furniture lies in heaps near the walls. Broken bones lie scattered amid crumpled and crushed plate armor. Shields and swords jut from the walls as if driven into them by some tremendous force. 2 doors stand opposite one another, the one you came through, and one to the north. A dark archway leads out through the east wall.
Interesting.
I mean, I feel like, well, let's Lena perceives this room.
I'll put you in that.
22.
Brill just stands very still.
Yeah, 17.
Looking around, it seems like this might have been the site of some kind of battle long ago. But it's unclear what these swords and spears being jammed into the walls seem kind of maybe symbolic, or maybe some kind of show of strength. But clearly, many people and many pieces of furniture died here.
Crucible would like to
furniture.
Step in and peer around through this archway.
All right, peering to the east. There's a little kind of mini hallway off to the east with these little nooks off to the south and north. And they kind of have the feeling of that these are like barracks. So to the north and south are 4 10-foot square alcoves cluttered with rotting cots and dirty rags. The ceiling here is
Elevor, there are some cots over here.
And the ceiling here is covered with yellow lichen. You can see to the east there is a stairway leading east.
The last time we saw these cuts, there were zombies.
Yeah.
No, it was skeletons. Can we
percept?
Yes.
Tony, are the stairs going up or down?
Stairs go up. These stairs
Okay.
go up.
I mean, you were very disappointed that you hadn't flipped those beds last time, Elivor, although you probably would have just gotten attacked.
He will flip the beds if you did say that out loud. But first, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, Elivor is more interested in the lichen, just to see if
Not
it's
surprisingly.
like, bad. So I'm gonna nature check. I got a 23 nature. Taking a peek at that lichen. Is he getting any bad juju from the lichen?
Is it to his liking?
Yeah.
Or is it just a moss hallucination?
Oh God. Tony's like, I'm done. I'm done here.
We have fungus here. It is the yellow lichen is harmless.
Okay. Let me do. I'll just, as I am flipping beds in each of the 4 areas.
Give me a perception check for four bed flips as yours.
I will give you.
I assume we look under beds. We don't just flip them.
Okay,
Well,
so
you look under
Flips
and then
them
you flip
walks
it.
away
Yeah.
very cool
Yeah.
like.
I
All
rolled a 12 for this one in the top left,
Yep.
a 16 for this one in the bottom right,
Sure.
a 23 for this one in the. I said bottom right. I meant top right.
Yep.
23 for the one in the bottom left, and a 6 for the one in the bottom right.
All right.
You're
you
tired
flip-
by that time.
You flip. Yeah. You flip the beds. They are not. I mean, these. A. They were never beds. They were cots. But B. They were cots a long time ago. They are. These are these are the ruined corpses of cots that came before us. And so it's just like flipping like balsa wood and rags. But as you are flipping them, you notice in the southwesterly alcove that there is kind of a loose floor tile below the now flipped cot.
Lena,
Yes.
there appears to be something that could be a trap. Would you mind looking into this?
Lena approaches into sight and does the hand symbol for trap
Yeah.
and
It's
and walks over.
Yeah.
Yeah, time out.
Time out. It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. T for trap and timeout
So,
and trouble.
she
Trouble.
pops a squat and gets her looking eyes on.
Yep. Switch out your glaring eyes. Put on your looking eyes. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
All right.
Does it look like a trap, a lever, a mechanism, a secret door?
There appears to be basically a loose flagstone that somebody has kind of chipped away at to make it movable. And not in a
Shawshank Redemption?
in a very kind of
As opposed to Rita Hayworth.
an amateurish. This is not a design.
Oh,
or
a
built
hidey
thing.
hole.
Yeah, you think there's a
Yeah.
little compartment under this. It is just a piece of stone that can be moved. It is not mechanical. It's possible that there could be horrible things behind that stone, but it's not. It doesn't. There's no trapsmith work at work.
Gotcha.
Here.
Lena pops it open.
All right. There's a tiny little compartment, a little nook here, kind of a cubby hole, and there's a moldy sack inside the cubby hole.
Moldy.
Somebody hold Crucible back.
Yeah.
What do you think is in this sack?
Elivor, you liked the lichen. Do you like mold?
Let's see how I'm feeling about this mold. I rolled a 20, so I know everything there is to know about this mold, Tony.
It's very common mold. You suspect that this sack has been here for some time and collected some damp.
And I'm not getting any vibes that like the mold has mixed with anything inside to
No.
make a new kind of. Okay.
No.
I think it's okay to open this one.
Lena casts a sidelong glance at Crucible, remembering, and then she upends the sack quietly onto the ground.
Pouring out of the sack is the jingle jangle of 150 electrum pieces, stamped with the profiled visage of Starman Zarovich.
Spooky money.
Yeah.
What a
Lena looks more disgusted than she did at the mold.
Guys,
But-
you get this money back to, well, Lena's never been there, but to the non-Barovia realm, and you flip it. I mean, it's still hard currency, so you know.
you melt it down.
You melt
and
it
then
down,
you
yeah.
remint it.
You remint it, yeah.
But isn't
Sure.
electrum kind of hard to? It's got to be real hot, isn't it?
I mean, I think melting stuff
That's what
down.
forges
is-
are for.
If only we had a
Yeah.
hookup with the god of the forge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't
Apparently,
think
he's
you can
Elevor's
turn,
best friend.
I don't think you can turn Electrum back into gold and silver, but I think you could make new non-vampire face Electrum.
You presumably could if they have different melting points, right? Like there's
Oh,
a way
yeah.
you can purify.
This
them.
is
I
the
mean,
gold one. This, because that's what a crucible is.
We're not doing science hour. Move it along.
Crucible basically eats them and then regurgitates separately gold and silver.
That's amazing.
When you run out of ball bearings, you gotta make do.
You gotta do what you can. Yeah.
You can do that at level 12, but not until then.
You could take it as a feat.
Make a note.
All right.
If anyone wants to take the coins, they are welcome to them.
Elevor does.
Brildish is already like jingle jangling, like
I'll continue to not touch the Strahd money.
Yeah,
When
I mean,
it's
if I
reforged,
recall,
maybe I'll talk. But
if I recall, you've been presented with lots of piles of wealth before, and you're not super
not in it
interested
for the
in
money.
Strahd.
No.
Yeah, you're
I've
not. You don't need Strahd bucks on you.
Strahd bucks.
basically Brildish has picked up like one like shield's worth every
Yeah.
time, and then like at this point her pack is very full. So
Yeah,
Shieldsworth was my butler.
right. there is
So we have
there is a one door off the north, and I'm just going to tell you, you might
it's not a
peek
door.
down to the east. The stairs go east and then cut back going west. So there's a stairs up over there.
well, Brildish got a 6 to listen at that door.
Quiet. It is quiet. Or you hear something. It's like a ba-dum, ba-dum, ba- oh, it's your own heartbeat. It's quiet.
Brildish again
Trixie.
points at the door, makes
Yeah.
the and shrugs.
Lena looks at the door, looks at Imra, and is like, huh?
Doors?
I'm gonna go listen.
Okay. It is quiet.
I got
Fair.
a 20. Okay. So then I will do a hopefully stealthy, quiet, open. I got a 9 to a stealth
All right.
check.
The door creaks a little bit. Beyond, it looks kind of like an office. This room is very
That is a
neat.
spooky office.
Yeah, it's a spooky office, and it's very kind of dramatically shadowy lit. But it's very orderly, and like this is a room that has been swept and dusted. There's a big desk with a big chair right in the middle of the room. There are 2 lanterns on it. There's the desk is set up with paper and an inkwell and a quill, and kind of hanging neatly. This room has dark oak paneled walls, whereas most of the other rooms here in the larders were just stone. And in particular, this room even has kind of decoration, which the other rooms did not. This room has various lances, swords, and shields. They look more like they're relatively ornamental, with Barovian crests on them, kind of hung in display around the walls.
Barovian crests or like
yeah.
Strahd crests?
Barovian.
Oh, interesting. Brildish is, if nobody stops her, she's just going to kind of like step over
Yeah.
and just look. Like, I'm not touching the desk. I'm looking at the stuff on the wall, seeing if there's anything behind it.
Secret
Probably
doors.
she's the one that's going to determine that they are ornamental and not particularly
Sure.
useful.
Yeah.
So you give me a perception check to look for
Yeah.
stuff.
That is a 13.
You notice that one of the swords seems to be like there's something different about them, how it's mounted to the wall.
It's a pullable sword.
It's a flying sword.
Pull
It's
the
not
sword.
flying right now.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. Okay, Brildish is not real smart, but she's fairly wise. So she's going to turn to Lena and make the trap
Yes.
Yes.
and point at the wall.
Seems
At
like
that
an
sword.
inefficient trap. We
Yeah.
put a sword on the wall.
Well, we don't have
more-
a separate sign for
If-
mechanism because
If
we
you
have
have
tried
a-
that.
if you have your
but we
eyebrow
couldn't
up
get
whenever you do it, it means,
Yeah.
is this a trap?
If you touch it with your hand, you could cut your hand. That's the trap.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It gets me every time.
The next room has safety scissors displayed on the room wall. It's much safer.
Lena, I think, nods,
Mhm.
suspecting that might be like a lever secret door type thing. And then kind of points at the desk.
Brildish looks very blankly at the desk.
Yeah, Crucible was going to go check out the desk.
Yeah.
Mainly because
Someone needs to.
it seemed like a great
I
place.
mean, this has Rahadin vibes all over
Yep.
it, right?
Mhm.
Except, sorry, this room doesn't have Rahadin all over it. The room 2 doors back has Rahadin.
Oh!
Do you think
Rest
he might?
in peace.
Do you think he might be the kind of person to
Says-
write down his boss's passwords? That's all
Oh my God.
That's what I
Check
wanted.
What
the
an
book.
only
Check
dream.
the book. Check the book.
Yeah, Crucible's
Yeah.
gonna pour over that desk there with a pretty good 25 perception.
There does seem to be kind of a ledger where Rahadin seems to have tracked things. You see a lot of things that repeat over and over again. It seems to be written in code.
What would it take for me to decipher that?
It would probably take you several hours of study, possibly over a long rest.
I will take the ledger with me
Yeah.
just in
Mhm.
case I feel like some light reading.
Mhm.
Is there anything else about the desk drawers or anything that?
They're all neat and tidy. There's lots of basically office supplies, and
I take his
yeah.
stapler.
He does not have. Okay, fine.
Classic power move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Either that, or you just take the staples out of the stapler, which is even.
You already murdered him at work.
Brill just is patiently standing by this sword.
Yep.
Yeah. Before we go and investigate the sword, I'm going to consult my knowledge of history regarding the various signs and sigils of Barovia.
Mhm.
That's a 16.
You are looking at them. These seem to be some of them probably are kind of things maybe you've seen in all of your travels over Barovia, kind of only vaguely or like in poor repair. These seem to be basically kind of artifacts of Barovia from before Strahd conquered Barovia, before it was even known as Barovia. I mean, Rahadin is a very ancient creature, so yeah, sorry. Yeah. So perhaps these are his personal belongings from a time before Barovia was Barovia, before Strahd conquered it.
Is there anything on there that's like ornamental, like a cloak clasp or a brooch or a...
Let's say yes.
Okay. Lena is going to find a cloak clasp
Mm-hmm.
and replace hers with sort of something that was from before
Sure.
Strahd
Nice.
Yeah.
conquered these lands
The-
or inherited them. It's not 100% clear.
He I don't know. I think you may have known from the Tome of Strahd that Strahd conquered these lands, and this was kind of, he built a home for himself and had Ravenloft constructed in life. So I will tell you, and the symbol of Ravenloft, or symbol of Barovia, depicts Ravenloft. You've seen it all over the place, especially within Ravenloft and on some of his probably the corpses of guards that served him in life. It shows the twin spires of Ravenloft. These shields, and you find a little clasp, tend to feature iconography that's more of like the environment of Barovia, so the mountains and the valley and the rivers and whatnot.
Even if it belonged to
Yeah.
an jerk,
Yep.
she still sees the value in remembering what things were like before.
Yep.
And with that, she walks over to the sword because Broldish has been so patient.
So patient.
Yep. Brill just sort of does the Vanna White.
Let's
There is no one less like Vanna White than
Yeah.
Broldish the dwarf. In every way.
So 28 to check out this out of place sword.
All right, the out of place sword is indeed a lever, which you suspect is going to open a secret door.
Woo!
Dunk.
You basically just kind of twist the sword 45 degrees clockwise, and a corner of the office, the wood panel kind of creaks, tilts back, and you see a stone kind of hallway with stairs descending into the darkness. There's kind of like a poof of dust that rolls out as this happens, and you can see that the stairs leading down are pretty choked with cobwebs, suggesting that no one has been this way in quite some time. So I will
Brolish
say at
really
this
wants
point,
to go down those stairs.
you have
Yeah.
now mapped the Larders of Ill Omen. You have located several several staircases that lead up, and several staircases that lead down.
As always.
Yeah. What will you do next as I look for a conclusion up to today's episode?
I think we're
I
gonna
want to
take
go
this,
down the hall, the stairs.
the secret
Brolish
stairs.
looks
I think we
really
gotta go
excited
down
about
the
these
The
stairs.
secret stairs,
You
right?
gotta
All
go
right.
down the secret stairs.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yes.
sure if you because I mean, you know that crystal heart is up, just so we're clear.
It is, but
It's-
the
it can wait.
crypts might be down.
It's not
we don't
getting
know.
any hardier.
It's
Yeah.
We hope.
Let me check where the secret stair leads to.
There's so many
We tried to give you
stairs.
time there, Tony.
No, I know where it leads to. I just gotta mark it on a map. It's like I know the general area that it leads to.
Well, like it'll slide open. We'll be like, oh, we've been here. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Back up. Everybody's wiping cobwebs off of their weapons
Yeah.
and their faces.
Now, I will tell you, I feel like if I show you this next map, you're gonna figure some things out right away.
Yay!
So
I like feeling smart. It's good.
Oh well. Who's leading the way down this horrible secret stairs?
Broldish would like to, if nobody
I think it's
Yeah.
the least we can do.
on
After
pony.
you.
All right.
I don't have the pony token, but just like for the record,
That's
on pony.
awkward. Clip, clop, clip, clop.
Where?
Pony's very patient.
All right.
You have to be Brildish's mount.
The secret stairs descend into a darkness that is unlit. And let me just flip to that page of the book. They go down quite a ways, about 70 feet. And you feel like this is probably taking you in the direction of the crypts and dungeons of Ravenloft. Let's see here.
It would be good to connect some of the different places that we've been.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the stairs go down a ways, 70 feet, and then there's a landing, and it looks like they take a right angle to the south.
Ah,
Well, Broldish is just going to keep clopping down. And
Wait, can we do a perception just to make sure we're not missing any secret doors?
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that's a good idea.
I will perceive, and so will Samus.
I probably won't bother because from pony back, it's not as easy to see secret
Let me
doors.
see what Samus
Unless there are any
rolls.
like perfect eye line for a 5-foot dwarf on a pony.
Samus got a 14
I
perception,
got a
which is lower than the
15.
15 from Crucible.
All right. You are looking around Samus or Elevor?
Samus was, and Crucible was.
Yeah.
Elevor was trying to, but he did not do very
Samus and Elevor look around. Everything looks great. You don't see any secret doors. Crucible, you notice that there's some kind of sigil in the landing, just as Pony and Broldish are about to step onto it.
Wait, stop.
Pony
I-
is probably has even better
Mid-clop.
reflexes.
Crucible
Mid-clop.
tries to like move his hands in such a way, and eventually is like,
good.
it just looks like he's doing the robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are a robot, sort of.
not a robot.
But yeah, I mean, a pony with 4 legs, pony can certainly stop without
On a
tipping
dime.
Broldish over and without stepping forward.
Tony, would I have any ability? Let me roll. What is it, Arcana or something?
Yeah.
Like right there.
My Arcana is not great. 11.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you with 11, you know it's some kind of glyph. Could be a variety of things that would, that,
I mean,
that
did you point it
physical
out or did you just say stop?
and you know that physical contact with it is going to trigger something Crucible.
Let's put it this way.
Could
too.
be
Just
an
to-
explosion, could be a siren, could be a variety of spells.
Okay, so just throwing this out there, I believe I have, or at least as a cleric, know the glyph of warding spell, so it would look familiar to you if that's what it was, I think.
I will tell you, it sure looks a lot like a glyph of warding.
Okay.
Oh,
Broldish got a 12 on Arcana, so I don't know if that helps, but yeah, so just hold them back.
What does
I
a
don't know
be
what that does.
some
Glyph of
kind
warding
of...
do?
It
Mhm.
may be an alarm or a possibly a trap that would inflict some harm.
Do any of us
upon
know how to
us.
dispel magic?
I do know how to dispel magic, so thank you for asking.
I don't, but
You're very welcome.
I can give that a shot. Is it possible to go around, Tony, or would it?
You could jump over it. It's about 10 feet.
I mean, that's fine for a pony, but
All right, I will attempt
everything's fine
to
for ponies.
cast Dispel Magic on it, which is a 3rd level spell. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher, I basically have to make a check. So you can.
You think you were successful?
Yes.
All right.
Rock on.
I reach out and gingerly prod it with the end of my Yikawa.
Nothing happens.
Onward.
do the hand signal. All right, pony.
Yeah.
Pony.
Just checking. Do any of you count as living creatures?
No, I'm dead.
Not
One of us
I-
doesn't.
I think I don't.
Yeah, actually, 2 of us don't.
Oh, okay. All right. You proceed down the stairs without incident, having diffused the glyph of warding, which would likely have done something untoward and probably notified Strahd of your exact location within Ravenloft. At the bottom of the stairs is a set of double doors. You open them carefully and stealthily, and are perhaps surprised, perhaps satisfied to see a chamber beyond that you recognize. You have found yourself once again in the basement of in the catacombs and dungeons of Ravenloft, and specifically in the room that you exited via teleportation so many nights ago. This is a room with 2 20-foot tall not golems, statues. What a slip of the tongue. Look, any statue could come alive and kill you. It's just that's just a safe way to
just
think about
statues.
life.
That's
Yeah.
the Tony Sindelar promise.
But the central feature of this room is a brazier with little colored gems around it that would allow you to travel to different places. I believe both within Ravenloft and within Barovia. There are several doors off of this chamber that you have not explored before. You know that south of this area was like a horrible torture chamber where you fought a bunch of zombies. And further east of that was the dungeons of Ravenloft itself, where you met Danu, you freed a werewolf, all these good things that happened when you
Brildish and
first
Pony got zapped into a cell.
Ravenloft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was stressful.
Let's think back to those times.
There are 2 doors north of this room, and this room has the ability to let you teleport to a variety of places throughout the land. It seems like the crypts can't be too far from here, which is one place you could seek out rather than looking for that crystal heart. Will they find the crystal heart? Will they search for the crypt? Will they find whatever weird thing Fiddlewick left to Elevor? I'm sure it's great. It's probably like a certificate of deposit or something.
Too soon.
It's a $50 gift certificate to Barovia Wild Wings.
Yeah.
They are wild.
Yeah. What are Barovia Wild Wings even made of? Spoiler, it's bats. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
The Incomparable Podcast Network. Become a member and support this show today. theincomparable.com/members